Hello, everyone. Good morning from India, and welcome to Ask the Experts 19. So, first of all, thank you all for joining. Your presence is what is making the session going. Welcome once again. And this is a special Ask the Experts session, which is happening face-to-face live for the first time. And it's a great opportunity for you to meet the minds behind Zoho Desk. And especially that we have lately released a lot of features and done some advancements on Zoho Desk. Here's your opportunity to connect with the Zoho Desk experts. Okay, so let's get started. So before we start, let me just share with you what Ask the Expert session is. Ask the Expert session is a monthly session which happens once in a month with different set of panelists who are experts in different modules of Zoho Desk. And this month, on the event of the spring release, we'd like to make you meet the experts who are behind the release. And so you can ask questions and interact with the experts on whatever you have with the latest features and updates within Zoho Desk. To cater to our global audience, we have two sessions happening, one which is happening right now and from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. IST. We have another session later in the day, which happens from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. PST. Yeah. So before we get started, let me share with you, present to you our panelist. We have Shweta, who is the Senior Product Manager, who is specializing in customization and platforms. So if you have any questions on modules, layouts, and customizations within Zoho Desk, this is your opportunity to speak with Shweta and interact with her. Simea, product engineer, product manager, handles emails and core modules, ticketing modules within Zoho Desk. For all your questions on ticketing and emails, you can type your questions today and Sumaya has respond to you. Kavil is a product manager who specializes in AI in leveraging Zia within Zoho Desk. So he's here to respond to you on Zia. And Satish is a subject matter expert who has helped in customizing Zoho Desk for our customers across the globe. Darwin is a friendly senior product engineer who handles chats and has helped our customers. And welcome panelists. And let me explain to you a few things before on this Ask the Expert session. We have two windows on our left side, which is chat window and Q&A. For on the Q&A, you can start typing your questions, and so our panelists can respond to you one by one. In the chat, you can put any queries related to the session. For example, if you're unable to hear us, or if we are not audible, or if you'd like to say something in between. But all the Q&As, kindly post them on the Q&A window so that we can follow up with you, and we can also follow up through emails. And this webinar is being recorded, and we will share the recording on our community. And we'll also follow up with you over email if we are unable to address, like if there is anything personal or like if it is customized request for your portal, we will follow up with you over email as well. So let's get started. Please start typing your questions under the Q&A window and our panelists will answer them one by one. Very, very good morning, everyone. Thank you for your messages. It's very encouraging to hear from you. So as we begin, we'll just have one small poll, and I'd request you to answer the poll. How have you come? How do you get to know about the Ask the Expert session? Thank you for your votes. It's quite interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Very interesting. While we have the polls being handled, while people are responding, we have one question. Here's a question for you, Satish. My question is regarding response time in Zoho Desk Analytics agent performance. We are trying to bring down response time, but for some reason, Analytics still giving us high response time up to 11 hours, even after we are clearing all the tickets within 2 hours. Is there any fine-tuning needed to be done to Analytics or Desk?
Yeah, thanks for your question, Abdullah. So just to consolidate the response time or the resolution time will be calculated based on the SLA that you have configured in your Zoho Desk. And so the best option to bring down the resolution and the response time is by configuring in proper business hours, I would say. So if our agents or your operating hours are like within business hours, like let's say 9 to 5. So it is better that you create a business hours based on your operational hour and associate that with the SLA that you already have implemented. So if you do not have an SLA already configured, so I would appreciate you configuring an SLA and then associating the business hour that you have created in your system, so that the response time and the resolution time are calculated according to the business hours that is associated with the SLA. If and business hour is not associated with the SLA, so in that case, so the response and resolution time will be calculated based on the calendar hours. So that would be the reason the response time is high in your case, I believe. So I would suggest you to configure an SLA. If not configure, and if already configured, configure an business hour and associated with the SLA. So this should probably bring down the response time and the resolution time for you.
Thank you, Satish. We have a couple of questions coming up. One is, how do you configure AWS infra with Zoho Desk?
So thanks for your question, Rajesh. So I'm not. I think I did not get fully understand the question. So how do we configure AWS infra with Zoho Desk? So if you are referring to an direct integration here with AWS infra, so unfortunately we do not have an direct configuration or an integration with infra, whereas we do have Zoho Desk open APIs which you can use if AWS infra supports the ability to make API calls from the system. So obviously we have the open APIs which you can use to make API calls to Zoho Desk and to fetch data or send data, create tickets, create contacts or get contacts, or create contacts, and etc. Yeah.
I have the same issue. It is not respecting office hours. Is it related to the response time AVG or AWS infra?
I hope it is related to the first question, so which is the average response time. So in this case, so yeah, so it would be the same here as well. So I believe so associating the configuring and business hours and associating and business hours with the SLA should resolve this. Yeah.
Thank you, Satish. Kaval, here's a question for you regarding Zia. My team implemented Zia answer bots based on our internal KB plus OpenAI. The bots are trained on many articles. However, we don't seem to get it working properly. For example, we have to ask a very specific question that is duplicated as the title of the KB article exactly to get a response. Why is this the case?
Hi, Simon. Thank you, Lydia. Hello, Simon. Thank you for your question. And yes, I do understand there might be discrepancies when it comes to the answer bot replying when from the knowledge base. This is due to the threshold we have set. So the way the answer bot works is that it works on a RAG technology. What this means is it is AI search and AI generation. For the AI search, we have our own embeddings and vector search models, which we have implemented for your knowledge base. And for this particular case, you are using OpenAI for generation. Now, when it comes to the search, we have certain thresholds that we have set. So the article must reach an 80% threshold for the answer to get generated. Now, there needs to be a verification before the answer bot replies to check if the question is related to your business or not. And also, is there a relevant article that Zia or Open ChatGPT can refer to generate a response? Hence, this could be due to the threshold not meeting and the Zia not generating an answer. For this, we have the best practices to train the answer bot. We have covered this in our help documents. we can share those with you. The best practices include to have phrases, not certain keywords in your help documents, and you can have multiple headings, titles for your help documents. You don't need to have only one heading. So you can make use of that for Zia to search better. And in the future, we are going to include that you can set the threshold. So for now, we have a default threshold. Soon, you will be able to configure the threshold as per your requirement. This is due to a threshold configuration that is mainly because of the you have to follow the answer bot best practices to train the answer bot. It's knowledge base best practices to train the answer bot. And the reason why Zia is not able to generate an answer is because it is not matching a certain threshold. We are going to give admins the configuration to set this threshold as per the requirement. Currently, it is set as at around 80 to 85%. So the the article title needs to meet 85% for Zia to generate a reply. How this 85% is calculated? That is as per the user's query and the article content. So if it matches according to the Zia score at 85%, then an answer is generated. This is why your Zia might not be able to generate an answer because it is not meeting the threshold. The way you can improve this now is by following the best practices to train Zia. Further, I see right now you're using OpenAI integration. In the spring release, we released Zia powered by open source, which is run by Zoho. It is an open source model that Zoho has run on its own environment, and it's available as an alternative to OpenAI. Right now, for OpenAI, you need to pay credits, whereas Zia is included in your plan if you are in the Zoho Desk Enterprise plan or any bundle that supports enterprise. So I hope I answered your question, Simon. If you have any follow-ups, you can ask it in the Q&A or chat itself. Thank you.
Yeah, so the next question here is I got a question about SLA. We have a setup that once the ticket is closed, CX responds that the state does not change, but when we reopen the ticket, SLA is always overshot. How do we set it that the SLA is not triggered on reopen? So in this case, so if SLA is only configured on create, so let's say the SLA is only so in this case, I guess the SLA is only configured on create. So that would be reason. So that will be the case. So when a customer responds and the ticket gets reopened, so it would actually accommodate to the response and the resolution time that is already being calculated on the ticket. So in this case, either you can enable the option customer reply on the SLA, so that when a customer reply is received on the ticket, so the SLA is recalculated based on your configuration. And regarding the when a customer responds to the ticket, state does not change, I would recommend you to check if the fallback to default option is enabled under the ticket statuses configuration. So this you can find the configuration under setup customization, layouts and fields, and ticket statuses. So please check if next to the closed status, if fallback to default option is enabled or not. If not enabled, so you can enable it, so that when a customer reply is received when a ticket status is closed, so automatically the ticket falls back to the default status again.
Thank you, Satish. I'm sorry that I had some internet issues in between. Sumaya, here's a question for you. Is it possible to have a blacklist for converting emails to tickets? For example, we need only nominated persons to send emails, and that gets converted to a ticket. We can avoid unnecessary emails to be converted as tickets, and also nominate contacts alone to send emails as tickets.
Appreciate you asking the question, Raj. It is an important aspect to consider. Yeah, we do have an API support to blacklist all the contacts or the domain that you want to restrict to create ticket in your help desk. So additionally, similar to blacklisting, we have also a support to whitelist particular email addresses or domains to only create tickets to your help desk. So to consume the functionality, you can drop a mail to support@zohodesk.com. We will enable it to you for any further assistance. Thank you, Raj.
Thank you, Sumya. Satish, before there's one question which Arathai Jaya posted on the chat. I request you all to please post on the Q&A. But we'll just address this because it was posted at the beginning regarding IM. So do you have a plan to attach for attachment PDF file in line on instant messaging and plan to configure guided conversation to line or IM?
Yeah, so the support of PDF in Lion, so this attachment restrictions are from Lion end. So we are working with the service provider in order to provide the ability to support those file formats as well via API. So yeah, hopefully we are working on it. So hopefully we should be able to address this soon. Yeah.
Thank you.
Additionally, on
And
top of
regarding
that, yeah, sorry, go ahead, Satish. Go ahead, sorry.
And regarding the plans to configure guided conversation to Lion on IM, so that also we are working on. Yeah.
It is available as of now, Satish.
Yeah.
It's available. It's in live. You can create a GC flow for the line channel and deploy it there.
Thank you, Satish. Thank you, Kaval, for answering as well. Satish, would you like to answer on the customer happiness? Help me set up, integrate the customer happiness auto sending process to a contact associated to the respective ticket. And upon his response, how to check those in the report following setup.
So we do have an dashboard that is customer happiness dashboard. So in which we will be able to find the list of customer happiness ratings received. So in addition, so you can also create an customer report by adding the customer happiness rating as an column in the report. And yeah, that should help you generating a report. And by default, we do have an dashboard for the customer happiness rating as well.
Thank you, Satish. Just a quick note from Sumya. Sumya, could you please highlight on the multilingual option that we have for customer happiness rating? We'd like to share that. And also to our participants, since we have a lot of many questions coming in, some of the questions will be answered via chats as well. And we'll see how many we can get answered by our experts live as well. Okay. Thank you for understanding. Yes, Sumya.
Hi everyone. In the spring release, we have a feature called multilingual support in our customer happiness rating. So in the existing implementation, all the customer happiness links sent to the customers along to your ticket responses is purely in English language, and you cannot get the proper responses or feedback from your customers based on their native language. So supporting in their native language and getting feedback from their native language is most important aspect in the current evolving world. So we have supported the same in our happiness rating as well. So we have around 20 plus languages supported. You can configure the translations for each questions and choices in set up multi languages under multilingual. All the questions translated by yourself will be available when the customer is consuming the customer happiness form based on their languages. If in case the customers are an end user, registered user in the help center, the language will be automatically detected from their preferences. If not, we have a language field in tickets. Based on that language field, we will consider the language for customers and show the form to the customer in their respective language. Yeah,
Thank you, Sumya. And thank you for the question on APIs. And I think the document link shared by Shweta will help you. While we wait, we have another question. How can we fix the error while sending marketing messages through WhatsApp template? Can we create an alternate option for this? Extension grade issues, example, Shopify extension. Satish.
So in regards to the marketing message through WhatsApp, so I believe you are referring to the bulk sending of marketing messages. So sorry about that. So I believe you are referring to bulk sending of marketing messages through WhatsApp. So the bulk sending of marketing templates is a restriction that is being imposed by Meta. So we are also checking on the possible options with the Meta. So wherein by selecting for individual tickets or for individual contacts, you still will be able to send the marketing template message. There should not be an issue with that. So yeah, we are also checking on the alternate option to find a solution for this. So yeah, we are working on that. So extension upgrade issue for Shopify extension. So we might need an little more detail on in order to figure out the issue here. So I would recommend you regarding the Shopify extension. I recommend you to drop an email to us at support@zogodesk.com, and we can help you fix the upgrade issue related to Shopify extension.
On the professional edition, how can we optimize and include Zia bot with the current plan? Could you please guide Chimera?
Sure, Lydia. I understand, Chinmaya, that Zia is currently not available in the professional edition, and it is only available in the Zoho Desk Enterprise edition and bundles that support enterprise, that have enterprise. There are only two Zia features as of now that are available for the professional edition. The first is Zia powered by ChatGPT. So that particular integration is available in Zoho Desk, where you can reply via open domain data, and AnswerBot will not work in that particular channel. The second is content analysis, which was released in this spring release, and it is an improvement to the spell check that is available for all paid editions. So currently the AnswerBot is not available in the professional plan.
I head up a department. I don't use Desk day to day, but I do need to run weekly reports. What's the best way to run reports such as average closure time, amount of replies, and most importantly, the most common types of categorized emails? From Chirag.
Thanks for your question, Siraj. So here, we do have the option to have scheduled report where you can create custom reports, or so we do have a default reports that would give you the average resolution time or the average closure time. So if you are in the enterprise edition of Zoho Desk, so you can just configure an report scheduler. So based on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, and have those reports generated, sent you via an email, and you can just have a look at those reports directly from your email or from your machine, instead of logging into your Zoho Desk account to run a report and view them from the application. So you can just configure those schedulers and have them emailed to you, and have a look at those reports from your device itself.
Thank you, Satish. For the ones who've joined lately, please post your questions on the Q&A window so that our experts can follow up and respond to you promptly. We are also having a few of our questions addressed through chats. So please use the chat window only for session-related, like discussions. On the Q&A, please post your questions. Okay? Yeah. Sumaya, is there an ETA for the availability of secondary CC field for ticket filtering in tickets module? Roslyn. Thank you, Roslyn.
Hi, Roslyn. Thank you for asking this question to us. Yeah, we have almost completed the implementation of secondary contact field in ticket layout. And once the field is available in ticket module layout, you can reorder the field in between sections and based on the configuration that you have enabled in your department. We can expect the field release within the end of this year. I hope I have clarified your question. And thanks for the question again, Rosie.
Thank you, Sumaya. Another question for Kavil on the Desk Answer Bot. Kavil, while using Desk Answer Bot, We have trained various knowledge base to the bot, but it was not responding from it. Also for many queries, it was not able to reply. All in all, it was not working as a bot should work. I think one of our previous participants also had a related question. Would you please like to share with your thoughts with Shweta?
Yeah, thank you for joining, Shweta, and thanks for the feedback. The answer bot works on a search base, as I explained to Simon as well, where it searches the answer, the knowledge base for relevant answer, and there's a certain threshold it needs to meet in order to generate a reply. Now, it is not working as a bot should. Kindly share your expectations of the answer bot so we can understand and build it as per that. Additionally, the way the answer bot currently works is that it searches the knowledge base for a relevant answer. If a certain threshold is met, let's say from 70 to 80%, then only an answer is generated. We are giving options, soon giving options to configure this threshold. For now, we'll be sharing the best practices to create your knowledge base so that Zia can learn from it and generate replies. The best practices include structuring your article properly, segmenting it, using phrases instead of keywords, and not using jargons that your customers might not use. So these are some of the best practices that are also mentioned in the help document in detail, so you can refer to that. And please share the requirements with us so we can understand it better. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavil. I hope that helps, Shweta. Here's for you, Satish. What is the best way to trigger a workflow rule after a set elapsed amount of time? For example, we want a particular workflow to trigger only after a ticket has been closed for 48 hours.
Yeah, thanks for your question, Dan. So workflow is an automation that would be triggered based on an event. So let's say create is an event, the ticket update is an event, customer reply is an event, and agent reply is an event. Wherein the once a ticket is closed, and as you want to trigger an automation after 48 hours from the ticket is being closed. So in this case, you will have to use a supervised rule or a time-based action. So wherein a time-based action or something that would execute every 1 hour, and based on the criteria you have configured, it would fetch the tickets and execute the action that you have associated. So you can navigate to set up automation supervised rule. So here you can create a rule with the criteria stating status is hours since status updated is greater than 48 or 49. And then you can add an additional criteria like status is closed, and you can associate the action with it. So that so it would only check work on the tickets that is closed and which has the status updated, the tickets that has been passed 48 hours from the status updated time. And if you'd like to create again update the status or send an follow-up email to the customer, you can associate the action accordingly in the supervised rule itself. Yeah, hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Satish. Another question on Zia. Kavil, for you, is it possible for us to train Zia to get answered from closed tickets resolutions instead of just from the knowledge base?
Sure, Lydia. A very valid question, Jomar. Now, for now, Zia can only train on your knowledge base and not your tickets or ticket resolutions. We actually tested this, we tried this, but as we know, tickets contain and can contain private information of the customer itself, specific to the customer, PII information that should not be shared with all the agents or also even the customers. So hence, for this constraint, we do not train Zia on the tickets, but what we are working on is similar tickets. So as right now we generate the answer from the knowledge base, we will give agents the option to generate a reply from similar tickets where Zia will refer similar tickets and the reply is sent in those tickets to generate an answer. So rather than training on your tickets and having the answer bot reply from ticket data that can be sensitive, we have the reply assistants replying from similar tickets that will help agents. I hope I answered your question, Jamal.
Thank you, Kavil. Yes, for Shweta, if we use third-party APIs with AWS Infra and Zoho Desk, are APIs HIPAA compliant?
Appreciate that question, Rajesh. Our APIs are HIPAA compliant. The data that are stored in Zoho Desk are already encrypted. So the APIs that access that data is also compliant with HIPAA. I just have a small recommendation, since you are going to access these data via third-party APIs, and if you are also going to store these data inside AWS infra, please do check if AWS specified infra is also HIPAA compliant, just in case you do not miss the processor who is going to process the data that you get from Zoho Desk. Hope this helps, and an insightful question as well.
Thank you, Shweta. Kavil, there are two questions following one after the other on Zia, as I'd like to put them together. First is by Ame. For follow-up in the Zia threshold, also using Zia and ChatGPT, I put the main words and tags and keywords, but still the answer bot, unless I ask the same question, I put on the title. So I think, Ame, do you mean that we're trying to follow up on the Zia threshold, like how many calls or how many prompts we can make? If that's so, Kavil, that's one question. The next question is, will Zoho provide more AI models to be available within Zia and OpenAI by Quay? So first we can answer by MA, and then I'll project the next question. Yeah, thanks, Kavil. Over to you.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you for the question, Aimi. So I do understand that Zia cannot answer from titles. This is because the title threshold is the highest one that we have configured, and it needs to match the exact title, so not the exact, somewhere exact by 80 to 85% to generate an answer. What I do recommend is adding the keywords and also phrases in the article itself, where Zia can understand the question as well as search the article content, not only the title, to generate an answer. And as you mentioned, you have added tags in the article. As of now, we do not support tags for Zia's training. Zia trains on a knowledge basis, title and content. We do not take article tags for its training. So adding tags will not train Zia further. We are working on including tags in the Zia's training data, but right now it is not supported. And as I mentioned before as well, you can follow the best practices to train the answer bot. I have shared the article on chat, and soon we are going to have thresholds that you can set yourself to improve Zia's responses. For the second question, by Kui, thank you for the question, Kui. And currently we have Zia and OpenAI. We do plan to include more models, but mainly models run by Zoho, as it is B2B AI, which needs to be secure, and there should be no data going out of the environment, privacy and security concerns, as we all know. So we are planning to run multiple open source models on Zoho's environment. We have GPUs from NVIDIA, and we are running those models on our own Zoho ecosystem. So there is no data goes out of the servers. Currently, also for OpenAI, the data is going out of Zoho servers for generation itself, not for training, for generation. Also in Zia powered by open source models, which is right now Llama 3.1, we use it only for generation, and we have fine-tuned it for Zoho Desk requirement, right? And right now we support Llama. Soon we are going to support Quinn and DeepSeek, and also Mixtral. So we are on the path of adding more open source models, and also to make it a platform where you can bring your own open source model or your own LLM for features inside Zoho Desk. Yeah, I hope I answered your question quick.
Thank you, Kavil. And thank you for the questions on question analytics. I hope you're getting responses through over the chat responses on the Q&A. And here's the other question on Zoho Sprints. Can we follow up over email, Satish, or when converting ticket from Zoho Desk to Zoho Sprints. The description content appears as a paragraph. When we update it point by point, it still displays as a single paragraph in Zoho Sprint. Thank you, Manikandan.
Yeah, sure. As mentioned in the chat, yeah, I'll have this tested on our end at once, and I will follow up. Yeah, hopefully we have your email address, so I'll follow up via email on this with you.
Sure, Satish. Thank you. Here's for Sumaya. Can we manually change text for Japanese translations and Help Center portal? I'm not about the knowledge base articles, but the portal itself. Things like ticket status and other items are not found in the customized panel. Japanese translations are very poor, not checked by a native level speaker. I'm sorry about the experience, Jeffrey, that you, yeah, we'll have
I just
Sumaya
confirm,
take it up
am
for
I
you.
audible to everyone?
Yes, please.
So, excellent question, Jeffrey. Let me walk you through that. We have support. I have previously mentioned that we have a multilingual support in Zoho Desk. So in that setup, you can export the list of fields and pick list values from that you have configured in your help desk, and change the language which you want. Like in your case, it is Japanese. You can add the translation, Japanese translation, and then import it to your Zoho Desk account. So the translated value will be reflected for both of your agents and your customers in your help center. So you can try to that option in our Zoho Desk. If you are not able to, still you are not able to work with the translation, please let us know. We will help you further. Thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey. And thank you, Lydia.
Here's another, Sumya, on the print ticket add-on. Currently, there is limited field integration with print ticket add-on. Could you please share your insights to Santosh?
Lydia, I think I have an issue with your mic system. You are not audible for me. Anyway, I'll answer the question. Hi, Santosh.
Sure.
It's a timely question that we are currently analyzing it. So, current implementation of print ticket is available as an extension. We are planning to provide it as a native feature so that you can print the entire ticket page, including the ticket properties, conversation, and all the tabs that is available inside the ticket detail view. So yeah, we will implement it in near future, and we will let you know. Thank you for raising the question again. Thank you.
Satish, we have a couple of questions for you on the question response time, which includes customized fields which can be auto-fetched upon receiving the response provided by the customer in those fields. They'd like to create a question type response. Santosh, thank you for your question. Satish will take over.
Yeah. So in order, I understand that you already have a template. Let's say you have a template which has about 3 to 4, 5 questions, which you ask your customer, and your customer respond to those questions, and you want to record those responses shared by customer in a custom field, right? So yes, so we can analyze on the possibilities of achieving this via custom function. So wherein with the custom, so it is based on the format that we receive in the response. So so the custom function will parse the content of the email and retrieve the data from it and upload it in the field, wherein so we would need the format in sample format in which the customer is responding to your question, and the format you are sending to your customer, so that we would be able to analyze the possibilities to fetch the data and update it in the field. So yeah, you can send us a screenshot of the response or the email that you send to your customer, and a screenshot of the email that you receive back from your customer for those questions that you have sent, and we can analyze the possible option and help you with the possible solution to achieve this as well. But yes, this is possible, and we can help you with that.
Thanks, Satish. Here's another on Slack integration. Can you please, I've just projected the question for you. It seems that there is not Slack conversation. It's simply notification a certain group of people in Slack like ticket created, note left, ticket assigned. Is there an option to answer on this notification in Slack and see that answer in Zoho Desk from Slack? I believe you're referring to Zoho Desk here when you mentioned Zoho, Dennis.
So I hope you are referring that when let's say a ticket is created and in the group message that you have a conversation. So in that specific notification email that you have received, and you are expecting the conversation that you had to be recorded in the ticket as well, I guess. So yeah. So currently that pushing the conversation as a comment or as a response into the ticket is not possible right now, but yeah, so we can take this up as an enhancement request and explore the possible option on how we can achieve this. Yes, so yeah, we can follow up further by email. We'll have a discussion with the product team and see if this on the possible option to have this as an added as an enhancement from our end. Yeah. Thanks for your question, Dennis.
Thank you, Satish. Another on capturing out of office emails from Gavin. Gavin, thank you. A major problem for me is capturing out of office emails before they get through to the ticket and update the status from on hold back to open. Is there an easy solution for this?
Capturing the out of office emails. So I understand that it is a difficult option to retain the ticket being opened when the out of office email is received on a ticket, and it switches back to the open status instead of being in on hold status. Yeah. So unfortunately we do not have a direct solution for that. So we can possibly achieve this with the custom function, whereas we can read the subject of the email that is received or the content of the email that is received, and then instead of switching the ticket back to the open status, we can have the using the custom function, we can retain the ticket class. So the ticket would be switched back to the status default status on receiving a customer reply, wherein with the custom function we can revert back the original status of the ticket itself back on reading the email content.
Thank you, Satish. And yeah, just a small note, the custom functions work if you're on the enterprise edition, Gavin. Yeah, and you can try that out. It'll be great. Another question from Parth. How can we configure and automate parallel or sequential approve process in Zoho Desk similar to Zoho CRM? Just for you, Satish, again. And just a quick note for the ones who have joined lately, please feel free to post your questions on the Q&A window so our panelists can read through and respond to them. On the chat, please put questions related to the session, like if you have any technical issues or any other discussions on the session, okay? All the questions and discussions that you'd like to carry about Zoho Desk or the spring release, please post on the Q&A window. Thank you. Yeah, over to you, Satish.
Yeah, so the current approval process in Zoho Desk is not much enhanced. So we are working on an advanced version of an approval process in Zoho Desk as well, which is similar to the one that is available in CRM. So the development process for the advanced approval process is in under progress. So hopefully once it is once the development is completed and moved to live, so yes, we would be able to have an approval process similar to the one that we have in Zoho CRM.
Satish,
I would like to add some points.
Yes, please, Sumit. Yes,
the
please,
approval
Sumit.
process. Even we have a limitation for the current approval process. We do have an option to solve the approval through blueprints. We have a detailed help documentation into how we can derive the entire process of your business approvals within the help of blueprint. Lydia will share the link to everyone in this webinar. We can make use of that.
Sure. Would you be able to share the link, Sumaya, like through the session? Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
Thank you. Please look, we'll have the link shared with you. And Shimira, I think Darwin will respond to your question on following up feedback with the users. Another question on ticket record for Sumaya. Can we log ticket record on Zoho Desk like Zoho CRM? Have you responded? No. Can we set up response and resolution SLA alerts separately? Is it related to the response you just gave, Sumaya? Yeah, you can help Jitendra with that as well. Thank you, Jitendra, for joining.
Hi, Jitendra. It's a valuable question. Yeah, already working on it to provide the option to lock a ticket based on the time period that is set by the admin. So once the ticket is closed, and we can set a locking period. And once the locking period is reached, we will entirely lock the ticket, and any further incoming mails or any further conversation for that ticket will be automatically created as a follow-up ticket. So you can set a resolution and SLA alert separately for both the log ticket and the follow-up ticket based on your configuration. Thanks for the wonderful question, Ruby. Thanks, Ruby.
Thank you, Sumaya. Over to Satish again on a contact create API. One major problem that we encountered during our launch is that contact create API can create multiple contacts that has the same email. It seems that the API calls are not being restricted with a unique identifier or contacts, which is email, but it works fine if we try to manually create a contact via Desk GUI. Is this can this be modified or fixed? Is Jomer's request?
Yeah, thanks for your question, Jomar. So yes, currently in the UI, so we do have the option to identify the duplicate contacts if you're trying to create a new contact with the same email address. Yes, I do understand that the same functionality is not available in the API as well. So yeah, we are we are working on the ability to restrict that via API as well. So hopefully we should have a solution for that. So yeah, Sumaya, yeah, if you'd like to add anything, yeah.
Hi, Jamar. I would like to add something here. As you rightly mentioned, in UI we have the validations. Right now, the validations are missing because we had few functionalities which demanded contacts to be copied rather than having a check. So now we are having alternates for that solution. So we are planning to roll out the unique identification using emails and even other phone numbers in the contact, which would be handled in the API as well. You can expect the rollout soon. We'll be keeping you posted.
Thank you, Shrey, for adding thoughts as well. Satish, yes, another for you. When you create a ticket on behalf of the customer, is there a way to tell the system to send an email to the customer? To send the email option. Yeah, Satish.
Yeah, we do have an option called send as email, so which can be enabled under the settings, setup, customization, central settings, and tickets. So you will have an option called send as email. So wherein when you create a ticket, so you can you can add the content in the description, and that would be automatically send as an email to your customer. Yeah, that option is available. Yes.
Thank you, Satish. Another question for you again. How do we put notes about a ticket that is available in the ticket list level? We usually put them on the subject line. Inquiry needs WhatsApp working to purchase, but this will be subject of email going to customer. We don't use task because it does not notify agents if the ticket is already closed.
Yeah, in regards to the list level, we would have to think about an option for that. So when it comes to a ticket details page, so we can have the option in the custom field. So yeah, so Sweta, can you add something here?
Satish, as you rightly mentioned, we have got multiple field types, and one among that field type is a multi-line field. Users can use the multi-line field. You can add a multi-line field called note, and whatever note you want to add in that ticket, you can add in that multi-line field. But I regret that currently any custom field that you are adding will not be available in the ticket list level. But fortunately, we have also got tickets table view in which you can have field which you are adding as a custom field that you can have as a view in the table view as well, so that you can use in the ticket list. Okay. And additionally, whatever field that you add can be used for search and other things as well. So this, when you have it in a custom field, that would not be sent in a email that's outgoing to the customer as well. Hope this answers.
Thank you, Satish. Thank you, Shweta, for adding as well. Yes, we have Darwin who's following up very all over the chats as well. Please post your questions on the Q&A window, and please post any session-related discussions on the chat. Okay, okay. Here's another question from Gavin. With approvals on tickets, we would like to be able to provide, as part of the approval process, comments on why an approval has been rejected or approved. Is there something being considered for future releases? Shweta, would you like to take this question, or Satish?
I'd be happy to take this question. Okay. We got a previous question also on approvals, where the question was on sequential approval. For that question also, we suggested an alternative of going with blueprints. For this question also, I would like to have the same. I would like you to use the same alternative. We can use blueprints where approve transition, where approve can be a transition and disapprove can be another transition. And in those transitions, we can have multiple steps, like it might be giving a comment, adding a note, updating a field, and many more. We even have widgets in approval transitions. Sorry, we do have a widget in blueprint transitions. So you can define a blueprint and you can say whatever step you want to have when an approval is done or when a process is getting disapproved. Hope this helps. I'll also send the blueprint help document as an answer for your question.
Thank you, Shweta. Here's another by Santosh Satish for you. We wish to create a question type response which includes some customized fields from the ticket. Once the customer fill the information into those fields and send the response, how to fetch those filled information into the ticket fields?
Yeah, I believe so. This is a follow-up question in regards to the previous question. So as I mentioned, so we will have to think about the possibilities of fetching the response from the customer reply using the custom function. So in order to do that, so we would need to analyze the response format that is sent by you and the response format that is received from the customer as well. So I would suggest you to drop us an email at support@zohodesk.com, and we can have it analyzed and help you with the possible solution to achieve this. Yeah.
Thanks, Satish. Sumaya, here's one for you on custom view. In the custom view section, we are looking to create a view that filters tickets based on whether they have been read or unread or opened or unopened, along with other criteria. Could you please assist us with how this can be achieved? Also, is it even possible to create such a custom view based on read or open status? And following up with this question is, yeah, that's it. Please, this is by Kushbu. Thank you, Kushbu, for joining in.
Hi, Kushbu. Such a valuable question you have asked. Apologize for the limitation from our side. Currently, we don't have an option to filter the ticket list view based on the read and unread status. We are planning to provide those as a fields, so that you can create a custom view by yourself, or you can filter the ticket based on the read or unread status within the existing views that are available in your system. Oh, thank you for asking the question. We will take this as an enhancement request and we will keep you posted.
Kushbu, I'd just like to add a few points to that. That was actually an insightful question as well. Kushbu, as you rightly mentioned, we at Zoho Desk also face these things sometimes. But currently, since unread or read is subjective to the user who is viewing the tickets, we are not only planning to introduce as a field, but even before that, we are planning to introduce as separate folders in custom views, so that you will have like different folders. Whenever you get tickets in 100, that would be categorized in a folder called 100, and from that, once the ticket is read, that would be getting into the respective folders. So we are now planning to bring folder structures, which might help you to solve the problem as well. But unfortunately, even when folders are introduced, we'll not be having read or unread inside the criteria of the ticket, as that would not be available as a field immediately.
Thank you, Shweta and Sumaya, for responding to Khushbu. Here's on snippets. Sumaya, is there a plan to allow for sharing snippets with an entire team or all agents? Every time a new member joins our team, I have to go through the snippets I own and share them with everybody. From Jeffrey. Jeffrey, thank you for your question. Sumaya.
Hi, Jeffrey. I really understand your pain point of adding each agent every time when you're creating an agent or inviting an agent and add them to the shared snippet that you have been already created. Yeah, we are also facing the same issues in our current implementation as well. Since we have some technical limitations to provide the all agent support while sharing the snippets, we currently don't have that option. But yeah, we will definitely validate the requirement and we will keep you posted.
Oh, thank you. Another one, Sumaya, just a minute. Do we have an option to create a task for another department directly, or is it only possible to share an existing task within department? Would appreciate a clarification on how interdepartmental task coordination works within the system.
Hi,
Please.
Khushbu. I hope you have referring the task under the activity module and not the core module ticketing. So whatever the module is on the record, if you have permission to that department, you can create a task or ticket directly to that department. If you doesn't have an access, you cannot create directly task to that department. So yeah, that's how it's worked. So that's it from my side. Satish, would you like to add some points to the questions of Khushbu?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, in regards to the sharing of tasks within different departments, so for now, ticket sharing option is available, wherein with regards to the task sharing, it is not available right now. Wherein in regards to the creation of tasks, so if you are in an all departments view, or if you are going to create and if you are associated with multiple departments, yes, you will be given the option to create a task, and provided the option to select the department in which you would like to create the task. And in regards to the tickets and task association, as both tickets and tasks are department specific, so you would only be able to associate the ticket that is in that department of the task, or task which is in that department. So we do not have an option to cross associate the task and tickets which is in two different departments.
Thank you, Sumaya and Satish, for responding to this to Khushbu. And hello, Ali. Ali on the ZSE key, Down is responding to you over the chat, and he's just requesting you some information. If you're able to respond to him, it'd be great, and he will handle your session over the question answer chat. Okay. And here's and Amelia, Darwin is responding to you as well. Thank you for your question. Thank you, Ali, for your question. And here's for you, Shweta, on the entity field mandate. Is there a way to make the entity field mandate while creating or movement of tickets?
Hi, Jitendra. I was just typing the answer for your question. I would like to know, what do you exactly mean by the entity field? If we mean the custom fields or any other field which are in the layouts while you create an entity, then you can make that field mandatory within the layout. So when you go to the layout section, in the layout you will have to select the properties of the field, and in that properties we have a separate property called mark this field as mandatory. So when that is done, then this field would be made as mandatory while you create the record, or even while you edit the record, right?
Thank you, Shreya. I hope that helped you, Jitendra. here's for you, Satish, on will Zoho be releasing an update in future that allows us to change the default help center? We have a major issue where only the default help center allows multiple departments to be allocated. However, when we went live, the default department was only configured for a single brand, which needed only one department. Now we are using Zoho Desk for internal support. We want to associate multiple departments with a non-default help center, but Desk is not allowing it. How to sort this out? Can you please help Simon, Satish?
Thanks for your question, Simon. So I believe your question is more related to the multi-branded department, wherein so by default, so if a department is not associated with any of the, if for a department, if you have not created a multi-branding, so by default it would be associated with the default help center, wherein default help center is where the non-branded departments will get associated with. So wherein I believe your question is more related to the multi-branded department, wherein you would like to associate multiple departments with the multi-branded department, if I'm not wrong. So if that is the case, so unfortunately, right now it is not possible. Wherein yes, so in the future, yes, we'll think about this, and we'll check on the possibilities of associating multiple departments with the multi-branded departments as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Satish. Hello, Parth. On the client scripts for Zoho Desk, Darwin is responding to you. Please respond, please elaborate your query and he'll be able to help you better. And Satish, here's for you on internal ticketing again. So by Pratik, thank you, Pratik, for joining. Here's his question, Satish. We use Desk for internal ticketing between departments. But the problem we face is that ticket is not visible to the person who created it, or as he does not belong to the department. Unless a department from the receiving department shares with the department of the person who created it, help center is not convenient. They have to go to another portal, act as a customer. They're unable to see internal notes. Also, they have to sign up for the portal. We're talking about 40 users.
Yeah. Thanks for your question. Thanks for your question, Patrick. So yes, so when it comes to an agent, so both the agents or the support admin or department specific, uh, department specific. Just a second. Yeah, so both the agents or the tickets are department specific. So obviously, if an agent A has only access to department A, so he would only be able to create and view the tickets that is created in the department A. When the ticket is moved to department B, obviously, as the agent does not have access to the other department, so he will not have access to that department, and only when the ticket is shared he will have access, even though he is the creator of the ticket within the portal. So yes, so if we are going to show the ticket of the other department to the agent, so that would break the core concept of the department wise categorization of the agents, as well as the department wise categorization of tickets and the data sharing privacies as well. So yes, so only if the agent has access to department A, so even though the ticket is created and moved to a department B, he would not have access to that.
Thanks, Satish. There's a follow-up by Athil on the department level itself. Did you guys ever come across a problem like this when two department emails are mentioned at the two address? Ticket is not created in both the departments, but only in one department. We do have mail service provider that auto forwards to support email and desk individually. We switched off our merge functions. I see duplicate conversation in the same department instead of two different departments. From Athil. Thank you, Athil, for joining. Satish will address your question.
Yeah, thanks for your question, Atal. So in regards to your question, so we will have to analyze the email header or the how the email is being delivered to us from your mail service provider in order to understand on why the ticket is not created in both the department, instead created in only one department, and that ticket has both the conversation. So yes, so I can help you in identifying the exact issue. Identifying the exact issue. So yes, so either you can drop us an email with the sample email that you have sent with which should have been created as ticket in both the departments to us over to support@zogodesk.com, and I can have that analyzed and help you with the possible solution or point out on where exactly the issue lies.
Hi, Mubarak. Darwin is responding to your question on alerts on reopen tickets. And here's one for if you like more questions on that, Mubarak, we welcome you to ask again. So over to Shweta on another question. Currently in Zoho Desk, the ticket aging in number of days is not available at the field level by default. It can only be accessed at the report level. Just want to check if there are upcoming plans to introduce ticket aging as a field directly within ticket layout. Could you please share your thoughts on this, Shweta?
Hi, Kushbu. As you rightly mentioned, this this field is a reporting field which would help the managers or which would help the agents understand how many days has been since the ticket is created. And since it's a read-only field, we are not, and it's going to be computed by the system automatically. We are not providing this in the form. But being said, this field is already available in reports. Not only that, we have this field in custom views as well, where you can create a criteria using a field called age in days. In custom view, you'll find it as age in days. But I am little skeptical. It is missing in automation and in other criteria. So we'll check and we'll follow up on that. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, Pratik. I hope you're able to see the messages from Darwin for you and Kushbu for you as well. And Shweta, another one. Will Zoho Desk consider having color code for status? Will be good to have the customization for this so that we have distinctive color for different status.
Hi, Kui Young. I'm sorry if I've spelled your name wrong. I think it's the high time that you asked this question. Right now, it's in our plans. We have just started the implementation for this. I'm just thinking if you're spying on us because we are just starting the implementation. We'll keep you posted once the updates are there. I think you are aware that we recently released the pick list color coding where you'll be able to set colors for different pick list options. It is available for both system defined pick list fields and also for custom pick list fields. So you can use that for the moment. But for the given statuses, we are working on it and we'll keep you posted.
Thank you, Shweta and we hope to come back with more good news for you. Here's for you, Sumaya, on can the communication threads be reordered from oldest to newest as preferred by individual agent or user?
Hi, Young. Sorry, Shweta mentioned. You have already, sorry for the interruption. Yeah, as Shweta mentioned, you already on a time machine and you are predicting your roadmaps rightly in your questions. So yeah, for the reordering of the communication threads inside the ticket detail view, we are working on it. Along with that, we have also plans to display the communication threads inside the ticket detail view based on the timelines and nested order. So yeah, we will keep you posted once we have completed the implementation.
Thank you, Sumaya. Like we are almost coming towards the end of the session. We have just 15 more minutes to go. We'll cover as much as we can. We have some of the questions being answered over chats by Satish, Darwin, and some of our panelists. We'll have a few more questions, and then we will follow up over email if in case we do not cover up now. So please stay tuned. Please keep an eye on the ATE post as well. And yeah, here's for you, Sumaya from Jomar. When receiving inbound emails on tickets, all of the past email conversations are being included on the ticket thread. Do you have some plans to enable trimming of the inbound email to only reflect the latest reply instead of having the entire email conversation in one thread?
Hey, Jomar, thanks for the thanks for the wonderful question. As you rightly pointed out, this is the need of the hour. we need to split the original content and the quoted content from the email reply when you drafting a new reply to your customer. We have almost completed the backend implementation. I'm speaking in technical terms. So in the backend implementation of splitting the original content and the quoted content is already completed, and we are checking the performance and scalability by handling those content, and we have much more to check in deeper to understand how we can split it and provide it to you when you are applying to your customer. So yeah, we are currently working on it, and we will keep you posted on that as well. Thank you, Juma.
Thank you, Sumaya. And here's for Satish. In case of approval process in Zoho Desk, only agents are able to approve the tickets. This is a question by Shankar. Can you please respond to this, Satish?
Yeah, sure. So here in regards to the approval, so I think you are expecting to have the external users as well as an approval. So for now, adding an external user as an approval is not possible. Wherein, so as I mentioned earlier, so we are working on the advancement of the approval process. Hopefully, in that, so we should be able to have an external approval as well. Be able to the ability to send the approval to an external person or an other user should also be possible in that. Yes.
Satish, and here's for Sumaya on using thread subject as a subject email going out to customer instead of ticket subject from Octavia. Can we use thread subject as a subject email going out to customer instead of ticket subject?
Hi, Octavia. I liked your name. And regarding the question, currently the subject of the ticket is fetched from the initial conversation that is made by the customer or the one that is created by the agent. So this is our current limitation. We do not have an option to fetch the thread subject as a ticket subject. And adding more points to that, we are working to elaborate the conversations and its functionality. Once it's done, we are able to provide a thread level subject or making the thread level subject as ticket subject in near future. And once again, thank you for asking the wonderful question.
Thank you, Sumya. And here's for Shweta. Do we have plans to introduce the user lookup? In the previous question, I missed adding user against a lookup. So Khushbu is looking forward to user lookup option. Thank you, Khushbu. Yeah, here's for you.
Hi, Kushbu. I again just have a small doubt. By user lookup, do we mean having a lookup for agents? So that's one doubt. And additionally, if you are a user for Zoho CRM as well, they have something called the user lookup. If you are referring to the same, we are now having plans to introduce user modules. So once modules are classified as user modules, then a lookup will again be introduced called as user lookup, which will have lookups for the user modules as well. But if you are referring to the lookups for agents, that is in implementation and that will be rolled out soon.
Thanks, Shweta. There's one for Kaval on ZIA accuracy level. Can you assist us with the ZIA accuracy level? This is from Khushbu again.
Sure, Khushbu, but I would like to know which feature are you looking for the accuracy level? As I think there was a previous question from you about the answer bot. So currently the answer bot accuracy level is not configurable by the customers. We are making it so that you can customize it. But if it's for any other feature like field predictions or anomaly services, then we'll be happy to help you. But we would like to know more information on for which feature.
Thank you, Kaval. Khushbu, you can also write to us at support@zohodesk.com and we can help you more on that. And here's for Sumaya, a quick highlights on how parent-child ticketing works within Zoho Desk by Shankar.
Hi, Shankar. I've been waiting to answer for this question. So we are happy to tell that we have already have parent-child ticketing relationship in Zoho Desk, and we have enabled for almost 1,000 plus customers. So anyone from this webinar who want to make use of the parent-child ticketing inside Zoho Desk, you can raise your request through this form. We can enable it for you in the backend. because the current parent-child ticketing implementation is in beta stage, and we are planning to release it for every users across DCs in near future. So we'll post the link for accessing the request for that particular feature. You can raise your request, or you can contact support@zohodesk.com for any further assistance.
Thank you, Sumya. Yeah, we have one question on Zia against Kavil. And before Kavil responds to this question, I have a quick poll for you on this. Zia, can you please respond to this poll? How do you find Zia within the ticketing module? And while people respond to the polls, Kavil, could you please answer? I'm using Zia to auto-predict issue theme field and it says successful. However, when I go to the ticket, it still doesn't suggest me the value to confirm.
Sure, Lydia. So, as you're referring to field predictions, there are two options in field predictions. One is auto update field values. Second is let me confirm. So let the agent confirm. In the let me confirm user experience, you have to go to the field prediction section. In the ticket detail view iBar, there's a field prediction icon section which you have to select. There you will get the suggestion from which you can either confirm or you can reject it and add it to Zia's training data. So all you have to do is go to the field prediction section in the ticket detail view iBar. There you can see the result, the value that Zia predicted, where you can confirm. We are working on getting this in the pick list value itself. So rather than going on to a different section, in the ticket properties itself, you will see an option of that Zia is recommending this value. It is not possible, it is not visible as of now, but we are working on getting this in the ticket property itself. For now, you have to go to the field prediction section. There's a wand icon, wand star icon in the iBar that you can select and see the values Zia has predicted. We'll share the knowledge help article with you as well for better clarification. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavil. And yeah, I just like to say that there are a lot of people who said we need more insights on Zia. And for them, we have a good news that next month, Ask the Expert session 20 is solely just on Zia's on an AI within Zoho Desk. We will have Kavil again in the next month's session as our expert panelist. And stay tuned. We will have announcement of the next month's Ask the Expert session on Zia. So you can have more questions, come back with more use cases, and we can have a vibrant discussion again exclusively on Zia next month. So thank you for your insights on the questions with the poll. Thank you. It really helps us. And again, we have one more question. Satish, can you please give a quick highlight on how Blueprint works? Because we had one of our participant requesting on Isabel just requested how Blueprint works. So a quick highlight on how Blueprint works so people can use Blueprint to automate this.
Yeah, to give you one quick highlight on how Blueprint works. So if you have a process that that streamlined process that an agent should follow. Let's say you have an e-commerce, you are running an e-commerce store, and you want your agents to follow a specific process. Let's say before changing the status from on hold to open, or open to on hold, or from open to refund initiated, or something like that. And if you want, before changing the status, the agent should send a reply to the customer or on proper comment to the comments to the ticket, or update and specific field. So in that case, you can implement in Blueprint and define the process the agent should follow, or you can add the required action that the agent should perform during the transition before moving the ticket status to different status. So streamlining the process, or having a strict process, or defining the process that the agent should follow in processing a ticket, so you can have the Blueprint implemented, and that is the that will leverage the ability of your agents to follow a specific process in handling the tickets.
Thank you, Satish. We're almost coming to the close of the session. So before we close, I'd like to have our participants respond to what do you think about this AT session? Would you like to have more sessions? How do you like it? And we will continue continue to, have this monthly session every month with a different set of panelists. Yeah, please share with us what you think about this ATE session. And if we haven't answered any of your questions, we will follow up with you over email. And please watch out our community on the forum. We will respond to all the questions. We will also post the recording of this webinar on the community as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're sorry some of you felt like a few haven't felt wasn't as expected. We'd be glad to have your feedback on the announcement page as well as to how you'd like to have a better experience of this session. And yes, for some of us, we were able to help you with resources. You can still connect to us, messages and email us at support@zohodesk.com. Thank you so much, everyone.